Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine Show presented by Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal Credit Union is a proud supporter of Navy athletics. And with the Mid-Atlantic Squash Conference Championships this weekend, we have Navy star sophomore with us, Winston Tang. Winston, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm just glad to have this opportunity to talk a bit about myself, but more so about the team and our performances here.
We'll talk about your performance first, Winston. So last year, 24 wins, 14th most in a season in program history. You do it as a plebe, and you've kept it rolling this year with 21 more. How have you had so much success here in your first two seasons in Annapolis?
Um, I think it would be wrong for me to completely take credit. I think a huge amount of credit goes to Coach Osborne and the rest of my team. I think that we on the squash team have this culture of excellence and high standards where we have both the coach and teammates hold me accountable. So every practice and everything else, I think that their willingness to work with me when I'm not perfect and their willingness to support me when I'm doing well is what has driven me to have the success and performance that show on the court.
We saw you had success last year at the conference championships. You did go 2-1. What did you learn about yourself as a plebe that you hope to apply this weekend?
Um, Plebe year was very interesting. I think it's something that's very unique about the academy. And what I learned about plebe year is a certain humbleness that even though that you're with the team and you get away from all the stuff in Bancroft, at the end of the day, we're Navy squash first. The Navy comes before the squash. I think that it's as a plebe, you especially feel that because you have a bunch of obligations. Well, I mean, the squash team, the plebes have to do a bunch of other stuff to earn their spot. But I think that being a plebe really taught me the humbleness necessary to really set up what I am now in upper class and to adopt more leadership responsibilities both on and off the court.
You garnered interest from Ivy Leagues, the likes of Dartmouth and Columbia, but why was Navy home? And why has this place continued to allow you to blossom?
I think that the huge thing is this culture. I know like every team has their culture, but there's something unique about Navy. I think it starts from intros where we play the national anthem. I think that the big thing about Navy culture is it's more than just an institution. We have a set of principles that align with our nation. And I think that the playing of the national anthem, the uniform we wear on and off the court, all of that, I think that all plays a bigger part as to who we are. And I think that culture is what allows us that buy-in, which makes us so successful.
Let's talk about the culture that made you who you are. What's one characteristic that your parents really nurtured in you that's made you the student athlete you are today?
I think the one thing my parents really harped on was collective success. I know sometimes it's easy when it's just you and you can always control on what you can do, but sometimes it's important to step out of your comfort zone and help other people. Because at the end of the day, squash is a team sport. Like you can win all your matches, but the team could theoretically lose all of them. I think it's important to balance when to really help yourself out and practice on your own and when you need to step up and help other people. I think that especially in squash, where it's very individualistic, it's important for me as a Navy squash player to really help out my teammates and let them help me out sometimes too.
Well, not to get it twisted, I saw against Franklin Marshall, your parents care an awful lot about your success as well, watching you out there perform. How fun is it to have them watching you compete each and every time you go out there?
Um, I will say it is fun at times, but it does get really nerve wracking, especially when you have your parents and everyone there like expecting you to like play well. But yeah, it is fun. I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm a squash player. I really do enjoy it. But yeah, it's that pressure, the emotions, the people watching, like all that. That's the reason we play. I mean, it is nerve wracking in the moment, but without it, sports wouldn't be what it is. And that's exactly why I love the sport so much. Just all those emotions.
You're also a standout in the classroom, majoring in nuclear engineering. How have you been able to flourish away from the squash courts and continue to do your best in the classroom?
I think it's important. Well, for me, mostly it's the weekends and finding free time. Um, so obviously we have a very big squash commitment here, and sometimes it's important for me to sometimes step away from that almost. Um, Squash takes up a lot of time, but sometimes it's important to take a bit of time out to do the academics as well. I know that this hasn't always been easy and it sounds challenging, but with plebe, you're in that whole transition. Just finding time and using that time effectively is something I've learned to get better at, and it's something I'm still continuing. Well, I did. You can say I performed somewhat highly, but I think there's still room to improve, and I'm still figuring out how to balance my time better. But I'd say the main thing is just time management, especially with squash and the academic load and everywhere.
Well, getting back to the squash, you're 21-2 so far this year. Where do you want to improve as this season comes to a close?
Um, I that's a tough one, but I mean, there's a lot. I wouldn't say I'm exactly 22-0. I'm 22-0 in team matches, but I've technically lost a few at individuals. I know this upcoming mask, I'll get a rematch against someone I lost to at individuals. So just building off of that, I've been doing a lot of fitness, working on technical stuff, talking to coach, trying to get my teammates to help me. Like there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes that I can't entirely take credit for. I think that the team has done a really great job supporting me, and with their support and what they've been helping me build up to, I think that's really the essence of what I'm trying to do at Mask this weekend and what has allowed me to get to this point.
Fantastic. I got two more for you. Since you talked about Coach Osborne a couple of times, what's the biggest piece of advice he's given you that you think has really molded you into the sophomore, the star that you've become?
I think that one of Coach Osborne's best principles is that he's very transparent and he's very honest with me. So sometimes when I'm getting really nervous or it's just not quite my day, he always reminds me of all the work we've put in as a team, how everyone has my back regardless of how I play, and that he knows that I'm trying my best. Sometimes it's just really reassuring when you have a coach who has your back and who reassures you that the work's already been done and that sometimes when it's hard that you are good enough. I think that's something Coach Osborne has done perfectly on, well, practically perfectly. And it's something that I look forward to.
That's great. Last thing I have for you. What is the team's goal the rest of this season? What is at the forefront of your mind?
Um, I think this is a this is going to depend based on who you ask on the team. I mean, we had aspirations to make top 12 Division One. Hopefully, it's not entirely out of the question, but I think a good team goal this year, if we don't make Division One, would be to win Division Two and end the season at 13th. I think it will be a huge step up considering we ended last season and finishing 20th. So there's always so much to look forward to. But me personally, I think it's just important that we as a team seek to improve from last year and build upon what some of the things we struggled on last year. And at the end of the day, that's all you can really ask for, to be better than who you used to be.
It's already paying dividends for you, Winston. Thank you so much for your time. 45 wins so far in your young Navy career. Keep it rolling, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
You have been listening to the Navy Sports Magazine Show, presented by Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal Credit Union is a proud supporter of Navy athletics.